Hey guys, I'm Good25. With episode 154 of Ranger Review. Today we have the SH Figuarts MMPR Rangers Red, Green, Pink, and White Rangers. So now we have the first wave of the MMPR Ranger figure art line, the Red and Green Ranger. Now just like regular figure arts, they have the posability of the arms, the legs, and whatnot. So like for Red, you can move the arms, the joints here. Now of course, like every other figure art, they're all pegs here, so you can switch the arms and whatnot. Legs do move. You can move the feet and the tips a bit. You can also swivel it around a bit, not much, but you can do a little good, interesting pose with it. Now, the accessories for the Red Ranger you get is, of course, his sword, the Thunder Slinger with the Ranger gun. We also get his Blade Blaster, both in the sword mode, gun mode, and in the holster mode, so you can just pull it in the holster. Red Ranger has 10 hands, so you can have them in many posabilities with just the weapons alone. You can have them with just one sword here and the gun here. You can swap it around whichever way you want. The head does move as well, so really good. It's a ball joint, so you know you can move it around, wiggle it around. The figure art line, what I really like about it is that besides just being more detailed and more articulated, you can do many poses with them. And with the Time Machine Nation stands that you buy, you can do really interesting poses. You know, have them like flying, kicking. You can actually have them like just really high up, you know, doing the little attack when he does in the air. You know, you can do like a lot of interesting poses with the figure arts with the stance, which is what I really like about them. The only downside I really complain about the Red Ranger is that the red paint on the guns and on some of the sword and all the other things, they do rub off. The torsos do come off, so you can have like take say Green Ranger's belt and put on Red Ranger and whatnot.
Now there is a defect in the Red Ranger suit figure. His shoulder bands, where they cover up the joints, is really low, so you can actually just make it constantly rotate all the time.
Now here we have SH Figuarts Green Ranger, Tommy. Just like the other posabilities of figure arts, he has almost the exact same amount of hands as the regular Rangers do. His arm does move, ball joints and whatnot, head does move, legs move, same articulation like the others, just instead he's a Green Ranger. So he has the little green marking on the legs, the green belts, the armbands, the wrists, and of course the shield. Now the bad part is that the shield is not removable at all, so you will have to have him like this. So when you want to do certain poses, you can't really do it all the way up like the others do because of his shield. Now inside here, you see a little peg hole or whatnot. You can pop it off and the shield will come off. But the downside is you ruin breaking your shield already. Now the interesting part about Green Ranger is that this is actually the first figure that we get with his Sword of Darkness. Now a lot of people, and I know a lot of Ranger fans would love to see him with the Sword of Darkness. And of course, you get his holster with the Dragon Dagger. Now the Dragon Dagger is just like, of course, the dagger. It's actually not as interesting as I would think it would, but you can still hold it in any hand he has. So you can have him holding it like this, and then you can have the Sword of Darkness on one side. Now you can have him like this, you can have him in whichever position you want. You can like in the box, you can do like this pose. Whatever you see in the boxes, you can do the posing. So now we have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the White Ranger. Now this one was a Time Machine Web exclusive in Japan. So Japan got it first, but then about a few weeks later, we got this. Just like the others, maneuverability is the same thing as always. But now this time, the difference between the White Ranger and the Green Ranger is that his armor actually flaps up. So you can actually like have him like this and have him higher than the Green Ranger because the shield is not restricted. You can actually flip it up with it. Just like the head is alright, same with the legs, always. The interesting part about the White Ranger is that he has that pearlish metallic finish compared to pink, green, and red. They don't have that kind of finish. He's really shiny looking. And of course, you can still take off the coin, so you can have the little tiger symbol taken off and then put it into the other one. Now for the White Ranger, his holster is actually different from the others. You have two blades for Saba. You have the shorter one and the longer one. Doesn't matter which one you use. So what you do is that you push the sword on the bottom and then you attach it from the top. The sad part about the White Ranger is he only comes with two hands. Besides the basic, closed fist hands. He only comes with 2 hands, so he has the open hand on the left side, and he has a hand to hold Saba on the other side. Now you can actually put Saba in the direction of him slashing, or you can put him like in when he's talking. But the good thing is that you can actually use the other Ranger hands to have him on, so you can use like red, greens, or whoever it is, as long as you know they're the white ones, and you can just have him on the right hand. So now we have the 4th in the Power Ranger line, the Pink Ranger. Same thing with the Rangers, she has almost the same amount of hands. The only difference is that she gets an extra hand that holds only the arrow. Unlike the other ones where the weapons are all separate, her arrow is already molded into the hand. She has not many accessories compared to Red. She only has the blade blaster in the holder mode, and also the Ranger gun with the Ranger stick. So same like always, maneuverability, same like the other Figuarts. Hands like this, legs like this. You can do a lot of posing with her. The bad part about her is that unlike the other skirts that we've gotten like in Gokai Yellow and Gokai Pink where you can swap the skirts, she doesn't really have a skirt to swap with. So when you have her like say in this position for like a long time and you pull it back, the skirt will actually flap open. So that's the only downsides to it. You still can take off the torso, you still can have different parts with her and whatnot. So like you can do this with her, you know, just having it high, really high, and she can be like shooting the arrow and whatnot. The bow in general is actually just a standard bow. It doesn't say Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or Jew Rangers on it, it's just a standard one. Now when you hold it, you would always have to hold it like this. Just remember that this is facing the outer way and this is facing the inner side, so you don't get confused.
If you have the Armor Red Ranger and you don't mind breaking the Green Ranger's shield, you can actually give the shield and the Power Morpher buckle to any of the other Rangers and swap them around.
So this year also, with the release of the Red and Green Ranger, Bandai Tamashii started releasing the Tamashii Stands Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now what they really much were just regular Tamashii Stands, but instead, the bottom would say Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and they'll say whichever Ranger it was. Overall, I really like this Figuarts line. I really recommend that you guys do pick it up because they're really detailed figures, and the weapons that you get and accessories, they're really worth it. Now the differences between the Japanese versions and the American versions, they also come with the Akiba Ranger special effect parts, which is mainly much the collar and the belt buckle. And Akiba Ranger had the Akiba Ranger coin in it, and the White Ranger doesn't. But yeah, that's it for our review of the SH Figuarts Mighty Morphin Red, Pink, Green, and White Rangers. Join us next time for the final episode of Ranger Review, the Black Koryujin. Come subscribe, and we'll see you next time. And we also actually released, just last month, the Armored Red Ranger, which is just mainly much Red Ranger with the Dragon Ranger shield, Dragon Dagger, and extra holster here so he can hold the Dragon Dagger. Other than that, it's the same as I figured, just with the sword, the bands, the belts, and the extra little weapons that you get. But other than that, it's the exact same figure. But the only posing that is really hard to do is in the Japanese one. You see the Dragon Ranger box have him holding the Dragon Dagger and he's blowing on it. You can actually do it, but the position for it is really hard because the arm is restricted because of how high it can go. And of course the Dragon Dagger you would have to have in this hand. The hand holding the back will be on the left hand. Another interesting thing is that only Red and Green, the back cover art actually has the MMPR logo, but White and Pink don't really have it, which is really odd to see because I'm expecting them to actually put them in the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger logo.